Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and I want to give my thoughts on the new Game Plus Expo Part 2. So yes, this is the second installment of their virtual web sort of E3 game showcase. So they did this before, of course, on summer 2020 because of the pandemic. So if it worked the first time, why not the second time? So they did. Again, certain companies showed their game. Some of them kind of reiterate the game is going to come through 2021 to some extent 2022. So I'm going to give my thoughts on some games that I am interested that they showed on the new Game Plus Expo. So of course, let's just click on this view of games. I'm going to give my thoughts on the game that I am interested. I'm just going to use the list to make it easy there. So the first thing that come to my mind that I'm interested is Azure Strike Gunvolt 3 by Inti Create, and this one's gonna come out actually in 2022. For people who don't know what that game is, it's sort of a Mega Man-ish type game, because you know the history with the Mega Man in the past. So they did their own version. It's a fun game. I played the first and the second game. So of course now there's a third game to come in 2022, and they will be teaming up with Concept, the guy KJ Inafune, because the guy who kind of revolutionized who Mega Man is, but there's a different story there. And as of right now, it's exclusive to the Switch. And the thing really is that, to some extent, from my understanding, is that Indie Create are not good doing multiple ports, so they kind of choose which one first, and then if do good, they'll port it to another system. They kind of did it with Blaster Master Zero, the previous Azure Strike game. There's even Death of the Dragon. So I wouldn't be surprised eventually in 2022 there'll also be a PS4 or PS5, Steam, other option. So like I said, options are good, but right now they're probably just focusing on the Switch because, again, if you don't know, Switch to some extent is sort of dominating worldwide because of the portability. All people rather able to play game, console exclusive, console experience on the go. I said it before, but it is what it is there versus what the PlayStation 4, where if you've been following lately, Sony is becoming Play US station. Japan studios basically being reorganized because, well, they're not really doing good in Japan. That's the reason why they went to California. It's a bullshit business, but it is what it is there. So it is good that there's a third one that's coming next year. Hopefully multi-platform still, even so that PlayStation is Play US station. So speaking of sequel, Blaster Master 03. So finally, of course, Blaster Master is multi-plat. So on the Switch first, and now it's on the PlayStation 4, which I enjoyed the most because I like the trophies. Of course, it's on Steam. So for this one, I have to give props to Inti Creates because this one is going to come out on July 29th, so summer 2021. But it will be on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, Steam, and even the Epic Game Store. So simultaneously option there. I like that. So it's supposed to be the conclusion of the series, and yeah, I mean, it's actually more fun than playing the original NES version. So supposedly the story takes place where it all started, where the tank came from a planet called Sophia. So it's supposed to be the conclusion, and it's something to do with Eve. It's enough to finish the second one, but hey, once they do that, of course, I'm gonna wait until I like my sales. But eventually, I'll probably buy this game too and see the conclusion of it. But hey, you know what? It's not bad. At least it's multi-plat. For me personally, because I love my trophies, PS4 version. So moving for that one that I am interested, well, not so much, is Code Realize Wintertide Miracle. Okay, so this is what they call a otome game, which is sort of reverse visual novel. It's one girl, all guys. And believe it or not, if you know that the developer is Idea Factory, however, the publisher is ASCII Games. And then if you look at the fine print here. There's also a thing called Design Factory. For people who don't know, that's sort of their, let's just call it a sister company to Idea Factory. They're the ones that's in charge of most of the Atomic games. And you say, well, why not Idea Factory themselves? Well, it's kind of like why Mori Crystal Monster is published by East Asia Soft. Why is it Gun Gun Pixie published by PQ? Because Idea Factory International, they're a small company. They can't localize a lot of games, so when push comes to shove, they gotta outsource it. Yeah, it sucks, but if you don't like it, let Idea Factory know about it. But just be mindfulness that, hey, look, you know, it's either that or they won't release it. So for people wondering, because I'm seeing on the chat, hey, where's about Atomic game, more Atomic game? Well, Idea Factory are localizing some Atomic game. I think the biggest one is Amnesia and Hakuori. But for this one, I could realize it's Axie Games. Here's the picture. Of course, you know, it's a reverse harem, in my opinion. Of course, another one, same deal. Dairoku, Agent of Sakuratani. Again, same deal. It's a reverse harem. One girl, you play as a girl. You kind of bond with multiple males. Again, same deal. If you're into Atomic games, there you go. For me personally, I like my normal harem story. Anyway, speaking of Idea Factory, finally, I did mention this before, Dead End Request finally going to the Switch. So wait a minute, this game's already out. Yeah, on Steam and PS4 long time ago. But now they're moving it on the Switch. And again, like I said, options are good. For people who don't have a high-end PC, for people who don't have a Switch or a PS4 or vice versa, you get it. Here's your option. So finally, if you don't have a PS4 or a high-end PC, but you want to play this game and you have a Switch, there you go. Frame rate, well, it's probably going to be lower than the PS4 version, but yeah, the game is good. The game is good, but if you want the best experience, I hate to say it, you gotta go with Steam. None of this game is probably going to have a PS5 enhanced, but again, it is what it is. Of course, it's just the same as the PS4 version. It's going to be English dub or Japanese. Yeah, keep in mind it's going to be partial dub, but you know, it is what it is. In a different video, I'm gonna talk about the situation like that. But again, let's just say it's better than nothing. You know, at least they're releasing it. So April is gonna come, and then moving on to This America. So a bit of a controversy for some, and when I was watching their stream, people were actually mentioning PlayStation 4. Here's the reason why. So as of right now, it was already been stated in a Nintendo Direct mini from last year that this MmGS 6 Defiance of Destiny will come out again summer, June 29, 2021, only exclusive on the Switch. But at the same time in Japan, it was also in the PS4. Some editors said, hey, Miss America, what's going on? Why is it only in the Switch in the West? What's going on here? Wasn't there some deal, some backdoor deals? Did you make an exclusive deal with Nintendo? Unfortunately, they did not really say much. They just said, well, you know, as of right now, it's just going to be a Nintendo Switch. You know, they're trying to be coy, they're trying to be safe, not basically spilling the beans. But in my opinion, no offense, kind of bullshit. But of course, at the same time, if you've seen my other video about This America or their parent company, Nichi Ippon, they rather work with Nintendo than Sony. Of course, obviously, you know what's going on with Sony. Yeah, there's been a story about it. Of course, some people don't like it, but again, Darwinism, you know, you gotta survival of the fittest. So, me personally, I think it's a BS that's only Nintendo Switch in the West. Should also be on the PS4 since in Japan also. And people might say, well, maybe the censorship. So, but if it's due to censorship, then why is it also on the PS4 in Japan? Chances are, for me, my opinion is it's more a back deal with Nintendo, kind of bullshit. But again, it is what it is. We'll just have to wait and see. Again, my only tip to everyone is, if you want this on the PS4, let your voice heard, be aggressive, and kind of like what I did in one of the video, get in their face, just say, hey, I'm approve of this, I would like this on the PS4. Just let your voice heard, but be considerate about it. But at least, hey, you know, it has English dub, so props to that one. So the next one from Axie Games, Fishing Fighter, and you fish, and I guess who's the better fisherman? I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but you know what? We'll see what happens. Apparently, there's no voice for this game. I mean, old games in the past didn't have a voice, but you know, it's 2021. Games should have voice, but it depends. But again, only Nintendo Switch, maybe because of the Joy-Con. I mean, PlayStation Move controller, sort of not compatible with the PS4, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, moving from that one is the biggest one. A fighting game, people anticipate this, is Guilty Gear Strive by Arc System. So yeah, this one is developed and will be published by Arc System Work America. And of course, if you notice the date, yes, June 11, 2021. Yes, unfortunately the game got delayed, but for me, I really don't give a crap. As long as it has English dub, I don't give a shit if this game even ends up in 2022, because I'm a casual guy. I just like to play fighting games for fun. So again, it's gonna be the PS4, PS5, PC, and the best part, at least since Guilty Gear Extend, English and Japanese, especially English dub. People were pissed about that, and of course, in the past, the reason why Rev and Rev 2 did not have English dub, it was revealed by Daisuke that because of timing of release. At first, people thought it was some sort of schedule because they were being coy about it, but the reality is they were favoring the competitors, which is kind of bullshit. And that's what happened, because it's the same thing that happened with Blaze Blue, Central Fiction. What's his name? Mori did admit that he said that, yeah, the reason why it didn't have an English dub, they wanted to release it as soon as possible. And when the backlash was just so much, the casual fan were pissed off. They said, okay, maybe it wasn't a good idea. Props to even enabling to change the narrative. So they learned their lesson. They did say that, yeah, from now on, we're going to put English dub. So if we have to basically wait for that. Again, I approve, but that's me. It's good. So I played the beta. You know, it is what it is. It's kind of clunky in my opinion, but again, I'm not really an uber fan of Guilty Gear. But you know, the delay should be good. Improve the game, improve the lobby, improve the netcode. Cause you know that was the biggest complaint from the MGC. Again, I care not, but you know, at least they're finally listening English dub. That's all I care. So the next one, another Harvest Moon game. Really, I really got nothing else to say. I mean, it's Harvest Moon. It should really have voice, but you know, whatever. So moving from that one, it's something that I am interested in. Finally, the conclusion of the franchise for this game, the series. Mary Skelter Finale by Idea Factory International. Yet this game will come out fall of 2021, and it's the true sequel to Mary Skelter from the Vita. Of course, it's on Steam, and it's a free game for Mary Skelter 2 for the Switch. So the best part here is PS4 and Switch version. Not only that, it was already been confirmed by the presentation, English dub. So of course, it's probably going to be again partially. I take whatever, you know, better than nothing. But I really hope it was full dub. But you know, like I said, I'm going to talk about it in a different video. The question now here is, okay, fine, Mary Skelter Finale. Do I need to play the first two if I did not have a chance? Well, they kind of give you a special story, like a sort of a cinematic that tells you the story of Mary Skelter and Mary Skelter 2. So that's great. But at the same time, if you want to experience it actually playing it, Mary Skelter is on the Vita, Steam, and like I said, free on Switch when you buy Mary Skelter 2. Mary Skelter 2 in the West is only Switch exclusive as of right now. So first of all, before I continue, I hope that Idea Factory International also between now to fall of 2021, and maybe they'll delay it. I wouldn't be surprised that either one, they consider releasing Mary Skelter 2 for PlayStation finally 2021. Hopefully Sony's not going to be a dickhead But you know what? We'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen. Uh, for people who don't know what the story behind it is, of course, 2018, Sony's being like weirdo with their censorship, and then the Chinese version of Mario Skeleton to the PlayStation 4 had a weird update that removed the purification mode and it bricked the game to Kingdom Come. And so basically the concern is that if we release it like in 2020 or 2019 Mario Skeleton 2 for the PlayStation 4, then they have to basically compromise it, and people are like, oh hell no. Because of course I'm not gonna accept that. I think that's bullshit. But again, but that's in 2020. Hopefully 2021, Sony ease up a bit. They reevaluate, said okay, maybe fine, the game needs to be in the PlayStation 4 because you got this one. And the game also still have fan service to some extent, but they've been toned down a bit. Screw you, Sony, but whatever. But yeah, so hopefully at the Factor International, you do consider bringing Mario Skelter 2 on the PS4. There is a PS4 version. It's just they didn't want to bring it because they were concerned with Sony, but we'll just have to wait and see. Again, just like with this MmGS 6, make your voice heard, say please, finally, because it's kind of weird. Like if you want to experience the trilogy, you have to have a Vita or Steam, and then Switch. But if you don't have a Switch, you're tough luck. I mean, you already said it like, well, they're focusing on the Switch, but yeah, so it's kind of suck there. So, but as for the game itself, apparently, according to one of the people, that the game takes place 7 seconds after the game end of the first game. So yeah, he's just back again to where Jack's timeline is. So for people who don't know, is that Mario Skelter 2 is an alternate timeline where Jack became a nightmare, and the story is a little bit different. For this one, apparently it's supposed to be a merge of 2 timelines, so the cast of Mario Skelter teams up with sequel, plus they have new characters. And they also introduced something they call it the Zap system, where you actually control a faction group at the same time. So they kind of did this with Final Fantasy 3 or 6 in the SNES. There was you push a button, you switch to a different party. Omnimusha 3 kind of did that. And there's some other games too, if I remember, but I mean, there's a lot of games, but yeah, so they're doing that one. So again, cool. So at least finally they're gonna bring it out this fall, so that could mean probably August, October, and it could be November. So like I said, if you want, including myself, want Mario Skelter 2 for the PlayStation 4, so to have it for a collection, or if you don't have a Switch, let your voice heard. Maybe even Steam. We'll see what happens. Just let your voice heard. Maybe they'll do something about it. Hopefully, again, be considerate, but you know, get in their face. Yeah. And speaking of more Idea Factory game, Neptunia Reverse finally has a release date on June 8, 2021. So this game will have also English and Japanese. I mean, no duh, since this game's already old. It's like, well, it's the Vita version. Of course, it was the PS4 version. Had a poor sale, that's why they never brought it out. So here's the quote-unquote definitive version for the PlayStation 5. Of course, I'll buy it once I got a PS5, but there'll be a different story there. So what it is they just put more topping on this game. They added more characters. From what I heard, Uzume is playable. Remember the Steam version, Uzume was playable on that one. The IF and Compa, I can't remember. IF, Compass kids, you can play them. And not only that, apparently they said that you can also play as R4. So there you go. Again, for people who never experienced it, it's an okay game. But again, Final Fantasy 15 or 16, heck, 7 remake. Yeah, but for me personally, I enjoyed it. It's fun. But again, you know, at least English dub. Hopefully this time Idea Factory International, since it is just a rehash game. I'm sorry, you know, it is what it is. I mean, the graphics sort of improve a bit, but again, please add more life for this game. Please, please, even if you do a paid one, you gotta do it, please. So, yeah. So again, finally has a release date. Awesome there. So the next one is apparently at the same time. NIS America are releasing their classic game during the PS2 era on the Switch. This one they call it 20% NIS Classic Volume 1 Phantom Brave, the Bermuda Triangle Remastered, Soul Nomad, and the World Eaters. Never heard of the second one there. But yeah, it's gonna be on the Switch. It's a PS2 game. I think there was also a Wii version on Phantom Brave. There's also on Steam. I mean, there's a lot of versions. At least that's English dub. Yeah, but it's an old game. Hopefully also PS4 in the long run because you know people again like that. So here's what the game looks like. I think this one is Soul Nomad. Yeah, it looks like a PS2-ish game, but you know it is what it is. Again, options always good. You know, people been playing retro, so why not? So again, not really my cup of tea, but again, because it's related to Otome and Idea Factory, another one that Axie Games is localizing. It's called Olympia Story. Again, same deal. First Harem Otome. So before I continue, so a lot of people always like, man, we need more Otome games localized. So not only follow Idea Factory, but follow Axie Games. Axie Games also are the one. Oh, I want a dub. Well, no chance. Any virtual novel game not gonna have an English dub. Like no chance in heck. So, like Axie Games are not in the business of dubbing games. It's up to the developer. In this case, Idea Factory. Yeah. If they didn't even do it in some of their game, why would they do it for someone else? Sucks, but it is what it is. So the next one that I am interested is from Natsume, Paki and Rocky Reshrine. So this is the third game that Natsume is gonna do a Super Nintendo remastered remake. The first one was Wild Gun Reloaded. I already talked about that. 4-player new characters. The second one is Ninja Warrior Savior Return. Again, from what I heard, better graphic characters, I think. And this time is Paki Rocky, or in Japan is Kikiwaki Priestess. Again, Super Nintendo graphic, but supposed to be new stuff, new stages. Apparently, more new characters. So again, it's gonna be fall 2021. I still need to get Ninja Warrior if I ever feel like it. But, you know, not bad. It's actually a very classic game. It's actually fun. We did a showcase. If I remember, I'll link it, but I doubt it. So of course, another one from NIS America. It's gonna come out this April. And yeah, it's kind of BS. It's only Japanese sub, but again, NIS America. They kinda do it on a case-by-case basis, but poison control, action shooter, but you know, it is what it is. Again, the case-by-case basis. Too bad this one doesn't have an English dub, but you know, whatever. Looks interesting, but just have to wait and see. And again, if you have a problem with the game not having English dub, let your voice heard. But push come to shove, they're probably gonna say, "What's that noise?" But at least you're technically letting your voice heard. That's the whole point. That's the whole point about it. And I know sometimes people don't like it, but it is what it is. And then the next one from another one from NIS America is, and this one has English dub. I guess it's like voice. I mean, if Radiant 5 have storytelling with people talking, why not this game? But R-Type Final 2, it's based on an old classic. It's really fun. It's going to be on the Xbox, Xs, Series 1, PC, Switch, PS4, hopefully PS5 in the long run. But yeah, it's awesome. It looks cool. I saw the showcase. I can't wait for that one. I mean, cool. So, of course, next one, Samurai Warrior 5. Tecmo Koei Corporation, yeah, kiss my ass up. I like the Musa game, but lately I couldn't enjoy it because the lack of English dub. And of course, right there, look at that, look at that. Tecmo Koei, kiss my ass. Yeah, if you don't know, they no longer dub games. They're cheap, they suck. I really wish Microsoft buys them at least, or PlayStation, Sony, but Microsoft probably your best bet. But again, you know, at least it's a restart of the Samurai Warrior game because lately it's rehashing. People get tired, so they're trying to reboot the series by a different story. But it'd be nice to have the English dub at least paid. But Tecmo they never really listen because they're a-hole. You know that's the truth. Savior, Sapphire, Stranger, Sword, City, Revisited. I think this game is already out in the Vita, PlayStation 4. Yep. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even have English dub, but different story there. Alright, another one that I guess I'm gonna go with a follow-up on the Nintendo Direct. Yeah, I'm surprised to some extent. The Caligula Effect 2 finally coming in the West. Fall 2021 by NIS America on the Switch and PlayStation 4. Again, kinda suck. No English dub because the developer is Furiu. But again, it is what it is there. They probably just dubbed their own game. They're not gonna dub like someone else's game to some extent, but kind of suck. Again, like I said, let your voice be heard about it. You know, it's better than nothing, but you know, just when you see something that they mention, just say English dub. Even so, they don't really listen. But again, you just what I call, like I said before, getting in their face. So, of course, another one. It's already out on the PS4, but it's gonna come on April the 9th on Nintendo Switch and PC. The Legend of Heroes: Trails of Cold Steel 4. Finally, again, option is there, English and Japanese. You gotta have English with this one because Exit did it. So if this record didn't do it with 3 and you didn't do it 4, boy, there's gonna be a problem. So they're not that stupid. But to some extent, it's a case-by-case basis. But there you go. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna eventually get the PS4 version if it goes on sale because I just like my sale. I still need to finish the second one and then go to the third one. I got too many games backlog. So we're coming to an end, and with, well, not really with this one, but I'm surprised this one has English dub. So same people who did Danganronpa. So it's gonna come May the 28th, and then other countries is June the 4th. But there you go, English, Japanese. Already talked about it, looks interesting, but too bad it's only in the Switch, man. I like it on the PS4, but again, you just have to wait and see. And then coming to a close that I am interested is Ys 9 Monstrum Nox, again by NIS America, finally going in the West, but on the Nintendo Switch and PC. It's already out on the PS4, they're giving a demo. So I gotta give props to Falcom for actually bringing this out, and NIS America for actually having English dub, because when this game, believe it or not, came out in fall of 2020, no, fall of 2019, that's how way back, they asked about would you consider a Japanese release, and they're like, well, right now we're only focusing on the Japanese market and that's it. And that will be a different story, how the Japanese market think of the international. I mean, the same happened with this game, believe it or not. Apparently, the president of Nichi Ippon even said that at one point they weren't even considering releasing the Scale 1 on the PS2 in the West, but they said, you know, let's take a risk, let's see what happens, and yeah, there you go. Well, they made a wrong decision, but there'll be a different story there, but at least finally, it's already in the PS4. This summer is on the Switch, PC, like I said. Options are always good, and I like that. So those are the games that I like that they showed in the New Game Plus Expo. I gotta say, it's good. Again, new info. Sort of an alternative to E3 or anything, but again, there it is. I'm gonna put the links on the games that they showed, the website for New Game Plus Expo. Again, if you see something that's not your preference, like, oh, how come the game is not on PlayStation 4 or Switch, or this game has no English dub, be considerate, but be loud, trying to get in their face, but like I said before, be considerate, like find a middle ground there, but at the end of the day, you gotta keep in mind that it is a business, it's just there to make money. Yeah, they might appreciate their fan, but they gotta put food in the table, they gotta have a roof in their head, you know the story is, but it is, but overall, the second New Game Plus Expo, it was awesome, it was good, it was worth watching. Again, before, if you have concern, let your voice heard. You can follow the company on their social media. There you go. So those are my thoughts, and with that, I'll see you guys later.